I've always said that one of the most difficult S ranks in the game is Wally Warbles. I honestly think Wally is the hardest airplane boss in the game by far in expert mode, with the first and last phases both being incredibly difficult in my opinion. Since this boss has so many projectiles, Smoke Bomb ended up saving my life on a lot of my runs. If you're more confident in your dodging abilities, Coffee might be a better choice for you since that means you can squeeze in an extra super or two. During the first phase, you want to move your plane about 1 egg's distance away from the left side. This is because, unlike in normal mode, eggs can crack in 5 directions: 12 o'clock, 1:30, 3, 4:30, and 6. The best place for you to be at all times is around the 12:45 or the 5:15 mark, roughly. You also don't want to be too close to the egg impact as well because the shells might still hit you. If you're trapped between the top or bottom of the screen and an egg is incoming, move to the best position you can and become small. This will allow you to hopefully squeeze past between the eggs without taking a hit. The other thing to worry about in this phase are the small baby chicks that fly towards you. Ideally, you want to knock out all the yellow ones, but leave the pink one so you can parry it later. Unfortunately, this doesn't always end up happening since you'll be constantly moving up and down to shoot Wally's head, as well as dodging eggs. Still, once you have 5 bars of super, bomb him immediately. This should basically end the first phase. The second phase is much easier, thankfully. Just stay near the back and just slightly dodge up and down as the feathers come while still keeping pace with his head. Don't worry too much about getting the parries on the birds because it's much more difficult to make any wide movements this phase. If you have your super, bomb him in between the feather attacks. Okay, third phase time with Wally's son, Wally Warbles. This one is really annoying, but using the mini plane strategically can make a big difference. What you want to do is move in when the egg orbit is expanding and move out when it's shrinking. Easy, right? Well, not really. Make sure to use the mini mode when crossing the path of the eggs because they can move deceptively fast in expert mode. 2 things to consider in this mode that will make your life easier. 1, it's very obvious when Willy is about to shoot his ray gun at you. When you see him aiming, be sure to stay a bit further back so you can parry the projectile. All of these projectiles will be pink, so it's a guaranteed parry. 2, when the eggs are all bunched up, they'll actually block Willy from taking any damage. At this point, I like to switch to the bombs because they do splash damage, so I can keep my damage output consistent. You should have more than enough parries to guarantee a super in this phase, so let him have it as soon as you can. One little trick here. You know that song, The Ride of the Valkyries? It sounds like this. This plays at the 1 minute 6 second mark of the track, so if you hear that little jingle after this phase has started, that means you're making great time and you're probably going to be able to beat this boss in under 2 minutes. Finally, the last phase. This phase is one of the toughest ones in the game in my opinion. First of all, you do not want to stand above either of these birds because they'll shoot pills up at you which will split and then home onto you after some time. The area near Wally's head and chest section is also dangerous because he'll often spit projectiles up at you. Therefore, the 2 safest spots are here and here. Of course, easier said than done when a million things are happening, but try to stick around there if you can. Obviously, you're going to want to use the bomb weapon for this phase. The only time you should switch back to bullets is when he kicks his heart out of his chest because you can damage that instead. Otherwise, keep dropping bombs on his stomach. The toughest thing here is keeping track of the pills the birds shoot up and the stupid camera getting into your personal space. If you can rough this out, then congratulations, you've S-ranked one of the hardest bosses in Cuphead history. Well, until the DLC comes out next week.